Hey, what's up everybody? Hope you're doing well. This is Bob DeBoo here for Open Studio. Today we're going to talk about the one. So when you heard me playing that opening groove, I was thinking in 7, right? I was playing like kind of a, I don't know, like a funkish type of groove in 7. But really, I was trying to hear everything towards the 1. And now if you're a James Brown fan, if you're a funk fan, you've probably seen this video.
1, 2, 3, and you hit on the 1, 1, you know, 1, you know. And then you would try to fit your different notes, what you felt in between that, like, you know, and that's the funk, you know, you know.
That's, of course, the great Bootsy Collins, who, changed modern music in a huge, huge way, influenced by James Brown telling him to think about putting it on the 1, right? You can fit in whatever else you want in there, right? But that inspired today's video, which we're going to take in a slightly different way into different time signatures and thinking about different modern type of playing in a, in a fun, creative way. Hopefully you like it. So what we're going to do first, though, is we're going to put the instrument away. We've got to feel it here before we can feel it here or there or whatever instrument you're doing this on. You can do today's exercise or video. You can do it on any instrument, vocalists included. Okay, so let's try this out together. Here is 30 beats per minute. Just in snapping, I'm hitting it here on my metronome app. Try this. Clap along with this and call this 1. Try it. Okay, so maybe you're hitting it dead on. Maybe you're ahead of it. Maybe you're behind it. That's all right. It takes a little bit of getting used to, right? I'm ahead of it. But now try this out. Try to divide this in half and start filling in the empty space with subdivisions. We'll just start in 2. So do this. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And now you start feeling it better, right? So still thinking of this in a circular fashion. So I like to hear it like this. 1, 1, 1, 1. Cool, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So you can think of it 2, 1, 2. Try thinking of it that way. I think it's cool. But hearing that subdivision will help you hear that 1 a bit better. Okay, so you feeling that? Let's double this up now and play 4 claps in the space of this 1. Try it. Right? So our metronome is not changing, but we're thinking about it from a different perspective now. This is a really common way to think about like walking bass lines or just anything. We're hearing towards that. 1. Of course, 4/4 is like the most common time signature that we deal with here in the States, at least, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but we're still dividing that in half, right? By thinking about 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Even though we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But we ultimately want to hear that. Ahead of it. Ahead of it still. But hearing that division. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Do you hear how I was more on it when I was subdividing verbally? So check that out. It's cool, right? Let's find that 4 again. Now double this up and we'll play 8 notes against this 1. Ready? Good job. Right? 1, 1. But there's still 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And there's this 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? But that's a great thing to practice, but we want to have this away from the instrument very comfortably and it'll make us that much stronger when we put it on whatever instrument it is you're dealing with, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. And in 2. Now in your mind, keep this division happening. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Cool. All right, now let's bring it back to 2, and I'll show you something cool. 2, 1, 2. So earlier, we multiplied this into 4 and then into 8, right? But now, as this whole circle is divided in half, I want to hear 3 claps between 1 and 2. Okay, so like this. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So now we're thinking 6, right? We're going to play in 6/8. It's going to come up, right? And you hear me dividing this in 2, right? Or in half. I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But what if I thought about it in groups of 2, like this? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's cool because if you take away the claps that are in between the 1, 2, 1, 2s, just hitting all the 1s in those groups. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I'm hearing 3 over this, right? So now I'm in 3/4 or waltz time or whatever. Dividing the 1, that circle, in 3 equal parts. The key word there is equal, right? We don't want to guess inside of this 1. We want to have that all together, right? So that's a good way to find 1, to find 2, to find 3, to find 4, to find 6, and to find 8. And we'll cap it at 8. You can, of course, go higher. But what about those other numbers? What about 5? What about 7? Those are meters that we're going to play in. You heard me playing at the beginning. I was playing something in 7, right? So how do we find that? Well, do the same thing. We clap it. Now for this, it kind of just has to happen. You have to start by just kind of guessing and feeling your way through it, okay? But there's some ways to do this that I think are fun and helpful. So find 1 again. Now start to try to fill that in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And thinking of small numbers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But going back and forth between like 4 and 5 and 6 and all of that is what's tricky, right? Right? So that's a fun game that you can do where you're bouncing back and forth between them, and you can practice this stuff anywhere, which is great. You could be in the car with your metronome going, walking down the street, whatever you're doing, put on some headphones, practice this stuff away from your instrument. You can vocalize this stuff, you can clap it, it's great. All right, so we still need to hit 7, right? So we're gonna use that same method, kind of faking it till you make it, right? You gotta just feel where that 1 is, say 1, 1. So let's try to fit 7 in there. It's going to be a little bit less than 8, right? A little bit more than 6. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that's common ways to divide this, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This is another way. Dividing the 3 by dotted quarter notes, right? So I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So that's a really common way to do that too. Okay, great. So you could practice going up and down through the hierarchy of playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, coming back down 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna try it now. I usually fall on my face, so I have to readjust, but it's a fun exercise to do, and it always helps you to hear back towards 1. That's the key component here, right? So here we go. Let's try it out. So 1. I'm starting off by hearing this in half. And remember, try to maybe think of this circular. Da. So 1, 2. Now to go into 3, you can start off by thinking that 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Right? In 4. 5. 6. 7. There it is. Hi, 7. 8. We'll try to go back down. That's 7. 6. I'm thinking of this, dividing that circle in half, by the way. Right? 5. 4. A little behind. 3. And again, I'm thinking of 6 with those different accents in there. 2. And of course, 1. Cool. Fun, right? Okay, so let's put it on the instrument now. I think this is a good way to practice with whatever instrument it is you're trying to work with. I'm going to use the electric bass here. It works on upright, works with anything, honestly. But let's bring back our click. This is an important step too. We do want to practice it away from the instrument, but then bring it back, okay? So find 1 with me. I'm just going to be an E. I'm a bass player here, so I'm playing open E. Now, if I'm just guessing and trying not to think about it too much, sometimes I'll hit it, and sometimes I won't. But if I think about subdivisions, I'm a little bit more on it. So I'm thinking 1, 2. Hear me stopping it on 2. 1. So I can move that around in a bunch of different ways, right? So if you can start from here, let's just find that 1, and that's the big thing, right? Landing on that. How about 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's important, right? To hear that big 1 and 3. I mean, if we're thinking of it in 4/4, it's 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really having that solid is important. But now, remember we were at 2. Triple it, triple it, triple it, triple. That'll help us to get to 3. 1, 2, down. Right? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now bring it back to just to 1. Now hear the 2. Da, da. Now we're gonna go 4. But it's staying pretty even with our 8th notes, obviously. Or you could think walking. It's a great way to really solidify your walking lines. You could put this anywhere too. You could call it a beat 4, but I've made other videos about that. Check them out. Let's go back to 1. Let's try to find, since we were just doing 4, we could think about going into 5 next, right? So let's find it first. Let's think about it, clapping it. So I'm going to start off thinking 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Maybe say it. 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. While you hit 1. 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's hitting all 5 beats, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2. 4, 5. Now 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so always hearing back towards the top of that circular measure, finding 1. 6 now. You can hear in half. Let's find 1 with our open E or whatever. You can do this with any pitch, obviously. But hear this in half. 2. 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? It's fun. Let's see if we can find 7. So start by hitting 1 on your instrument and vocalize unless you're using a breathing, an instrument that needs your breath, like if you're playing trumpet, maybe you could do this with your foot though. You know what I mean? Find some way to divide it away from your instrument. As a bass player, as a drummer, a pianist, whatever, you can do it with your mouth though. So find 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1. But that allows you to be a little bit more open with your groove. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, dun, 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 ba, da, ba, da. Ah. Da, 3, 4. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I mean. Da, 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 da. Right? Cool. So, and of course, you can think about 8, like if you're thinking maybe double time walking, something like that, or wanting to hear, like if you're swinging at a slower tempo, hearing double time, some soloing ideas, right? So let's find 8 over this. ever hear it in half and it's really simple. Right? But it's all going back to it's checking in on one and really putting your emphasis and your circular ideas back towards that one. So work on your rhythm. It's paramount to everything that we're doing. The notes will come later. Really shed on this, hearing towards the one. Happy practicing. Peace.